Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the greatest rock and roll stories in the universe, all from the fan's perspective. It's Rock Stories with the Brumster. Now, here's the host of the show, my rockin' daddy, the Brumster.
Welcome, another great episode of Rock Stories with the Brumster. That's with two M's. You see one M. Get out of Dodge. Welcome. Again, our last episode, want to thank Richard M. Orion Fest 2013, Metallica meets James Hetfield, Metallica Museum at the festival, Red Hot Chili Peppers. D-Han, a band that was playing in a small pavilion. And so James, go check out the episode. Goes in there, and this band is actually undercover. It's Metallica giving a special show to make sure that people aren't skipping the small tents. I mean, super cool stories just like that. Behind the scenes, pull back the curtain so that you can see behind the scenes. But it's not a rock show with the stars, although Brumster's been on the radio since 1996, so quite likely we'll have a few from time to time. But this is from the fan's perspective. Real rock stories from the fan's perspective. It's Rock Stories with the Brumster. And again, we've got a great show for you today. Go catch all of the past episodes at Rock Stories with the Brumster YouTube channel. Like our video, subscribe, hit that reminder bell in the corner so that you can be a part of the ongoing conversation. Also, do you have some great rock stories from the fans' perspective that you'd like to share with the Brumster? Just go ahead and email me, rockstorieswiththebrumster@gmail.com. That's rockstorieswiththebrumster, two M's, at gmail.com. All right. Oh, it's so cool today. Like I said, I've been rocking since before then, but since 1996 as a broadcaster professionally, and so thankful for all those experiences, especially all of the cool shows I've gotten to see and throughout the years. But it's not something that is going to be special unless you've got people to share it with. And the guy on the show today is actually the Brumster's best friend. My best friend, Mark Almeida, is on the program. Welcome to Rock Stories with the Brumster, man.
Hey, what's up, Brumster?
Dude,
Good to talk to you, dude.
We have shared some memories, man. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think they were memories. They're memories somewhere in there, I guess.
In a corner of my mind.
Hey.
This dude, okay, before we get to the rock stories, I got to tell a radio story, okay? Back in the day, I was when we met, I eventually was afternoon drive for Classic Rock, 95.7, The Fox. I still like saying it, even though, I'm not there anymore. I'm on Rock Radio 559 and, of course, Rock Stories with the Brumster YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, hit the reminder. I copy that from all of the YouTube experts I've seen out there. It's supposed to make it go viral.
You ain't no dummy.
Thank you, Mr. Dumas. Mr. Dumbass. I'm dumbass material. It's Dumas. Yes. This guy was there in the evenings, late in the evening, and I had the evening shift right after my brother from another, Dave Campbell, went to go do mornings at Cool Oldies 92.9. And he left over there, and I got to take his shift. And thank you, Dave Campbell, a mentor, taught me how to do my very first live remote I ever did, Dave Campbell. And you can check out his Rock Stories with the Brumster, one of our past episodes at the Rock Stories with the Brumster YouTube channel. I'm there doing the evening shift, and my brother from another mother, best friend here, Mark Alameda, I didn't know him from Adam. or from Mark, actually. And he's down the hall. Reverend's over at New Rock 104, Ashley Sizemore. We'll have him on the show. I'm looking forward to, a lot of radio friends, but you're the first one that I've actually worked with, and I got you on because obviously we're best bros for such a long time. Our families are very intertwined, and so I wanted to start with you. Start with the best. What is that? Kiss or something? If you want the best,
you wanted the best. You got the best.
Mm-hmm. That's
the hottest hand in the world.
I love it. So
that was a great show. I remember that one with you. That was a really good one.
3 of them. Oh man. Yeah. So we're there at the station.
I remember one anyway.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I know. There were when Ted Nugent came out with his Indian headdress. I just saw your eyes do circles. So I'm literally like doing my evening shift, and Mark Almeida with us, Rock Stories with the Brumster, FOB, a friend of the Brumster. BFOB, best friend of the Brumster, actually. So I'm sitting there in the studio, and Mark, you remember we had stacks of CDs and carts for every sounder. Wow. What happened if a cart sounder didn't get fired and a CD didn't get fired, a song didn't get hit with the board? There was dead air, right? It was
dead air.
Well, Mark was down the hall. How we met was there was a sports, and officially KYNO 1300 AM was one of the, I think Casey Kasem was even on KYNO in Fresno, one of the first rock stations ever. Just a world-renowned KYNO. KYNO. Fresno. KYNO. You remember. I remember.
Yes, I remember.
Oh.
I remember lots of Giants games on there.
Oh, that's right. And so it was sports, folks. What did you do? Tell our listeners what you did, brother.
I was the board operator, and it was for Giants games and then also Grizzly games. So we would do the Grizzly games live, and then I would play basically the spots in between the innings. Whenever there was a commercial break, it was my job to play the commercials and do the break. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And between commercial breaks, when you knew there was going to be X amount of play going on, is back then we would go take a smoke break, quote unquote. I'll just call it that. Yeah. Anyway, yes. It was past 4:20. Let's just say everybody in rock and roll radio did that. So, but anyway, we went out to have our break, and I would play like Stairway or something, and the poop song. In radio back in the day, we knew the long songs to take a smoke break or go poop, guaranteed, 100%. And so I just be, doing my all request show, rocking, and while he'd be board opping, he'd have his Walkman tuned into me, and all of a sudden I'd be rocking like I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride.
Yeah.
Wanted Dead or Alive was our anthem, and all of a sudden he'd come around the corner with his hands raised in the air, and I just barely knew him, but we're those type of people, like we became just buddies like immediately. And
sure did.
But you used to always call it something, like all the time. You'd be like, all right, the game's on. I got a little bit of time. And I'd be like, what is it? You'd be all, it's on Kinomatic, baby.
Kinomatic. It was on Kinomatic.
It worked. Before there was automation, there was Kinomatic.
That's right. I would play all the necessary spots that needed to be played in the first few innings, and then I just let it go from there. After that, I just let the mothership take it home.
He did. Yes. And they're not asking for your hourly wages back. So that's a good sign.
Well, that's good because it wasn't much anyway. So
there you go.
Before I left the door.
He got paid with experience and fun. Right. We had a freaking blast in radio, didn't we, bro?
We really did. Yeah, we really did.
That's something that I like to say all the time. Rock Radio 559. Sundays at 11. Rock Stories with the Brumster plays there. Folks, get the app, Rock Radio 559. Hard Drive at 5 with the Brumster every Friday, 5 to 6 p.m. Rock and roll, just like the old days. Just the same flavor that we're talking about on how it used to be, minus the partying. I'm straight whenever I'm doing these shows. But 100%, like, it's important that we bring back the personality, because once they automated everything, basically got rid of, I was number one rated when I was doing afternoon drive for the Fox, number one rated in Fresno for multiple books. And yeah, they don't care. They don't care. They realized, the executives, that they could voice track everything, have one or two people do all the voice work, in the computer, have everything automated, and they're still going to make the same amount of ad revenue. But as listeners, we get piss radio. We don't get any. You can tell that there's no real personality anymore in rock radio, huh?
Without a doubt, and also the I guess the advent and explosion of satellite radio, it does the same, because there's no commercials. There's no really having to do anything in between the songs if any of those DJs don't want to. They just go back-to-back music. They say, hey, that was so-and-so, so-and-so, this is so-and-so, boom, on to the next one. So, yeah, it's definitely a lot different than it used to be. I'm no expert in the field by any stretch, but I do love music, and I've listened to radio my whole entire life. So you can definitely tell the difference now and then.
That's what I like to say, is we're bringing the personality back to radio.
And that's it.
Yeah, it's like you're so used to. Imagine this, okay? You're getting close to 50-ish. We're about this close to the same age, and so we can remember a time when 80 to 90% of the gas stations had clean restrooms. And actually, right? Do you remember walking into a gas station and there wasn't like scuffs and marks on the floor and bums sitting out front and nasty, disgusting bathrooms?
Those are the days.
Those were the days.
Clean restrooms, man. You remember clean restrooms?
For a good time. No, you did not see. Well, once in a while, depending on what gas station that you're at. But
yeah, as long as there's no glory holes, then we were good.
Right. And that, folks, why do you bring up gas stations, Josh? All right, I'll tell you, because radio with personality, the way it used to be, is like the clean gas station. And then they automated it. So just like they just put one clerk in there and they don't clean anything and they could give a crap. That's now everyone's like that, just like automated radio. It's crap and so that's just what we're used to now. Suddenly out of nowhere, someone shows up like Brian Martinez at Rock Radio 559, and he creates a station and brings Hopper, Brumster, and great personality back to radio again. And listeners, if you hear that versus the dirty, nasty, gas station radio that's automated on right now versus the clean gas station restroom radio, that doesn't sound right. But you know what I'm saying, right? Am I making a good parallel here?
Yes, yeah, totally get it. We get it. We're the clean restroom is a thing of the past, as is the personality. Not so much anymore, though. Thanks to Rock Radio 559.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
Well, anyway, this is about rock stories, and somehow, we talked about radio. All right, concerts. Being in radio, we got to do some cool shit, didn't we? Like,
we sure did.
Oh my God, I can't even believe some of the concerts and acts that we got to see. Musicians we got to meet.
The one that I always remember the most, and it was a very poignant memory, was when we went to Visalia, old V-Town, and we checked out Ted Nugent.
That's right.
It was a small venue I'd never been to before. What a great show! And then there goes the Brumster. heading off like, oh, we're gonna go meet Ted. We're going backstage, and so it was, I don't know, like 6 or 7 of us. We're all tagging along, and then you walk to the back, knock on the door. The manager, or whoever that guy was, security, whoever comes out, goes, yeah, no, Ted doesn't see anyone. He's after his shows, he likes to be alone and doesn't entertain bringing people back. And I guess really what the explanation was is because he's so polarizing, and he's just looking out for his safety. Then the Brumster whispered, asked the guy, you have paper? The guy gave him paper and a pen. You wrote something on that paper. To this day, I still don't know what you wrote, but you wrote something on that paper and handed it to that guy. 2 minutes later, he comes back up. I don't know what you wrote, man, but come on back. And we walk back there, and there's Uncle Ted sitting at the table, the round table. And we all sat there and chopped it up with him for, I don't know, it's probably damn near an hour. What a good time, man. And I was like, that was probably that might have been one of the first shows that we went to. And I was like, man, this is pretty cool working for the radio. And again, the Brumster knew what to write. I don't know what the hell you wrote, man, but
you want to know?
Got us there.
You want to know?
Let me know what the secret is.
Okay, hold on just a moment. Folks, do you want to know? Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. First, I want you to like this video and subscribe and hit the reminder bell button, folks. Rock Stories with the Brumster YouTube channel, real rock stories from the fans' perspective. Brumster's best friend, Mark Almeida, on the program today. Radio history together, friendship, and lots of cool concerts, including this Ted Nugent concert. Okay, how did we get backstage? What did I write down on the piece of paper?
What were those magic words?
Well, I have to go backwards a little bit and hit rewind. Friday, this was a Saturday show. Friday afternoon during the 5 o'clock hour, Ted Nugent was supposed to call the hotline and do an interview with me. And he didn't. He just spaced it. My program director, rest in peace, Spotman, comes in, Patrick O'Shaughnessy, Spotman. By the way, Spotman, when other people in the building were demanding that another fellow from Bakersfield take the afternoon drive slot, Spotman actually fought for me. Not that we were, always on the same page. I'm not going to say that, but you wouldn't know anything about the Brumster if Spotman didn't do that. So rest in peace, and I will always remember that. But he came in and said, I guess he's not going to call. Well, tomorrow you got your shift, and then we'll all take off from here, and we'll miss the first concert. Because I think it was Slaughter, Night Ranger.
Yeah, Night Ranger, yep.
Quiet Riot. It was the Rock Never Stops tour. And then Ted was the headliner. And I think we missed Slaughter, and we came in at the tail end of Quiet Riot, and we did see all of Night Ranger, which was pretty bad.
We sure did.
Night Ranger freaking kicked ass.
Yeah, that was really the first time that I'd seen and could appreciate that a drummer was singing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that how hard and how much talent that takes is really kind of, it's really unheralded. I mean, there's when you really think about trying to be the one that holds the time for the band while you're singing, I was pretty impressed. And that was very cool.
Yeah, Don Henley, Phil Collins, there's a few. But again, I'm mentioning legends, so it takes a legend to be able to do something like that, to walk and chew gum at the same time, So Spotman comes in, sorry, it ain't going to happen. So next day, Saturday comes. I come in to do my shift. I think it was 10 to 2 or 10 to 3 or something like that. Again, there were no automation computers doing automation or anything like that. So we had to come in and do it, And so, I'm in there. It's
and
like
some of that being done was hungover, being on a Saturday morning at 10 o'clock.
Dude,
that's tough after a Friday night.
You remember we partayed at that time.
Yes, I remember having to crank my eyes open and we gotta get you over to the station, dude. let's attempt to move.
That's right. St. Doris
And then you got in
Apartments.
there and you hit St. Doris.
I had a little studio apartment, which me, Mark, our other best friend, Lamar Lopez, and Augie, and we would all just party and hang out there. It was our kind of our pad, basically. And oh, what great memories, man. Yeah, if I ever had to do this life over, that'd be one of the parts of my life I'd look forward to again for sure.
Seriously.
I always say that because I went to 11 schools in 12 years or something like that. Literally, I mean, just boom, boom, boom. Anyway, it's one of the reasons why I just, am able to be so resilient. I guess there's other, goodness that came out of it. But, I didn't have the best friends really because of that in school. And so Mark and Lamar were basically not only my radio partners in crime, but also the best friends that I never had, it was like getting to have that experience. So it was pretty cool. And my eyelids are just opening them up with some toothpicks to get to work. And
and then you got there and the switch flipped. Rumster took over, and all was well in radio land.
Oh, when I go live, it's just, another person. I love it. It's an art form. I love it. And
all right, so sorry, I distracted you from the note. I want to hear the note.
Oh, we're not. Yeah, I did not get tangented. We're right on track. We're right on track.
That's right.
So we're there or I'm there, drop me off, do the show. It's just a regular Saturday morning show. And what was it, around noon, 1 o'clock? Hotline's ringing. And by the way, 9 times out of 10, if the hotline's ringing, there's probably something wrong. Once in a blue moon, you'd get just a regular call from it, but most people would not call the hotline unless there was an issue. That's why they call it a hotline, not a cold line, right? And so I see the hotline and I'm like, oh shit, what's that? We got to go to Ted Nugent. Spot's going to be here soon. What the hell happened now? What am I going to miss the freaking Ted Nugent concert, like my dream concert? Motor City Madman, I can't wait. Boom. Hey, this is Uncle Ted. What's happening? Is this Neil? I've used my dad's name, Neil Brum. Is the Brumster Neil? Is this? Yeah, man. Hold on. Let me put on a long song and hit record. Where are all my poop songs, man? So I just. So Ted and I proceeded to have what, in my opinion, was one of the greatest interviews of all time. And of course, at that time, he was just coming out with his new book called God, Guns, and Rock and Roll. And of course, if you know Ted, he's very conservative, which some people think that's why he, Tommy Shaw and J.Y. Young from Styx, both not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but who is it? LL Cool J just got in, and
yeah,
like, no offense, like have a hip hop Hall of Fame or a music Hall of Fame, and whatever, give him a special award. But should Wayne Gretzky get into the Basketball Hall of Fame because he also played at the Great Western Forum? No. But anyway, I digress. Ted is going off about his politics in addition to his rock and roll, and I'm just letting it fly because he's Ted, man. Like normally with rock and roll, we wouldn't go there regardless of how we feel because people tune into rock and roll usually to escape that shit. But this is Ted Nugent. Go ahead, Ted. Thank you for being on the show.
You open the door and let him walk on in and finish it off.
He did. And he made sounders and liners for me. And I could have been a butthead and been selfish and just thought of me. But while I was there, I got him to do sounders for our other DJs, Spot, Carter, and some other folks. And so, I wanted to make sure the rest of my team had some goodness from it as well. And so I'm glad that he was willing to do that. And pat on my back. I'm such a good teammate. Yeah. Humility is not my problem. So Ted during that call went on and on about how Barbara Boxer wanted to take away everyone's guns, and she did, by the way. That's no lie.
Yep.
And so what did I write down on the piece of paper? I wrote, Barbara Boxer is a bleep. And I won't.
Did you really?
I will not say what the bleep was. I'll just say, that's what I wrote down.
Awesome.
Yep.
All these years later, I had like, I could not figure out what you would possibly have written on there that changed his mind so suddenly. And then, like I said, but well, I don't know what you said, but come on in.
Well, I mean, I did say it's Neil Brum. I've got some people that and looking forward to coming back and meeting you, like you mentioned on the phone earlier today. And Barbara Boxer is a bleep. And
well, that had to be the what put it over the top.
I'm sure I'm not the only DJ that's tried to rub elbows. Just, most DJs are like, I'm DJ so-and-so. Let me back. Open the gates. No. I realized what mattered to him, his hate for Democrats. So that's where I went with
the
it.
Room. You read the room perfectly there, brother.
I did. And trust me, if he was, I don't know, Neil Young, I might say, screw Joe Rogan. Yeah, whatever I gotta do. I'm a chameleon, baby. No, I'm not. I have a backbone. I knew what I had to do, and we did it. And the gates did open, and the yellow brick road.
Heard that she is what you said she was. What you said she was. Jeez, that was easy for me to say.
No, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And the California was. Well, anyway, that's a whole nother program.
Yeah. And now let's digress.
I love it though how we were able to get right in there with him, and
was cool, man.
He was so open and nice, and he's 100% sober, by the way. Hold on just a second, just a moment. Rock Stories with the Brumster, real rock stories from the fans' perspective. Brumster's best friend, Mark Almeida here, talking about radio memories in addition to awesome rock concert memories. Excited to have him here. If you'd like to have your rock stories spotlighted on the show, just email me. Real rock stories. Actually, it's rockstorieswiththebrumster@gmail.com, rockstorieswiththebrumster@gmail.com. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, Rock Stories with the Brumster YouTube channel. So he is completely sober. He does not party. We were partying. I was like, 3 tall cans deep. And so I was like, hey, but I mean, by that time we had sweat out all our alcohol, headbanging and rocking. And we got back there, and dude was the nicest dude in the world, completely sober. I grew up thinking because everyone parties to his music, my family and people that I know, it was just synonymous with partying. Throw on some Stranglehold, let's party. And I go back there and I find out the dude never drank, never smoked, 100% sober. He's an adrenaline junkie.
High on life, man.
Yep. And he's
a bundle of energy without it,
dude. And I walk in there, and we did. And the first thing I noticed before we took pictures and talked was when we sat down right there at that round table, he took his drink, and it was like a Smart and Final lemon lime. And he drank the whole thing and then slammed it down like someone would slam a beer down. And he did a big old giant Ted Nugent burp. I don't care you guys are here. I'm at home or whatever.
Right.
Do you remember that? Wow. That's amazing.
Dude, that was awesome. Everything. That was my most poignant memory of a concert, and especially a concert that I'd never seen Ted Nugent before, or any of it. As a matter of fact, I hadn't seen Night Ranger before, as you could tell by me being kind of awestruck with the drumming and the singing at the same time. Yeah, so that was really the first time I ever been backstage and met a performer. So yeah, that's one of my favorite memories of shows. The other one does involve Ted Nugent too. It was I think it was the first time I saw Kiss.
Yes.
So
Talk
he
about
opened
that,
up
brother.
for
Talk
Kiss.
about that.
Yeah, that was freaking awesome too. I was having that was another fun night. I think there was, if I remember right, and some of this may be running together, but there was a pre-party, obviously. I think Fox used to do pre-parties everywhere.
At the Radisson
And there
across
was
the
one
street.
at the Radisson, yeah.
Mhm. Remember
And there
the big,
was
tall Paul Stanley that came in and everyone
That's what
thought
I
it was
just
really
gonna
him?
say. Everyone thought there was a guy that was dressed up like Paul Stanley, and everyone thought it was him, and he nailed it. Because there was, the only thing that cued me off was like, wait a minute, he doesn't have, Paul Stanley's chest is way hairier. But otherwise, man, his outfit was spot on. Yeah, that was cool. People were running up trying to take pictures with him and get his autograph.
It can't be him.
People sold.
His chest isn't hairy enough.
It's not hairy enough. We know that. We know that chest rug when we see it.
Oh, it's like a
that
jungle.
was a good show too.
It's like a jungle. You could hide from people in his chest.
Ted Nugent popped out and shot his bow.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
true.
that was great. That was part of the show that I loved. Yeah, he got the whole get up on, shot that fiery arrow across the stage. That was very cool.
Yeah,
And
now
Kiss, of course,
nowadays you would get in. Oh, hey, okay, let's go there. I've talked a lot about this on Rock Stories with the Brumster. When I saw Aerosmith, for example, at the Save Mart Center and Kiss opened, Kiss came out, flames, fire, all your senses. Aerosmith comes out, and then everyone sat down like they were just watching some recital. Like, seriously, like you do not let Kiss open for you.
No.
Ted Nugent got that
idea.
memo, I think.
Yeah, because he was well worthy of that, but he was well worthy of the opening act because he did what he was supposed to do and primed everyone for Kiss. And because even Nugent alone would have been just a great show, but then getting to go into Kiss after that, and I think we were sitting on the floor at that show, if I remember right.
Yeah,
and,
you were on the floor and I was up on the side. I remember looking down there and seeing you, and if I remember correctly, were you in full makeup then, or was it a later show?
It was a later show, yeah. Not that one. That was the first time, and it would have been cool to be full makeup, but since then I met another buddy that's a huge Kiss fan and an artist at the same time, and so he did the makeup up the last couple of times we saw him, and that was fun too.
Yeah. Fresno, and then Bakersfield, Centennial Gardens. You saw him there as well.
Yep. I remember that one. I remember the road trip down there.
Oh, that's right.
And then I remember
we had everyone.
I was Spotman there on that one.
No, we drove. Well, you know what? I think our buddy Paul took us to one, and then there was another one that we took a trip down there, and we had another buddy who drove us, and it broke down on the side of the road somewhere around Tipton, and my dad had to come pick us up. And then,
that's right.
And then I think you guys were able to get a ride to the show, and I had to miss that one. But man, it's like, a concert's great when you can go see them multiple times in a row. Like my Aunt Sue, Fans on the Run. She's seen Paul McCartney 118 times. Former episode, by the way, folks, if you want to check it out. Rock Stories with the Brumster, my Aunt Sue. Live from SoFi Stadium for the Stones, and also the ultimate Paul McCartney super fan. And we have so many. We run the gamut here, and we haven't even touched on Pantera, Metallica. There's so many things that you're going to go into, right? I'm excited.
Those are the bands I've seen the most: Pantera, Metallica, Motley Crue.
Motley Crue, that's right. The Scorpions just came to Fresno recently, and I thought of you, man. I totally did.
Dude, I totally forgot. And then I got some pictures from a buddy of mine that he was sitting front row. And he sent me a bunch of pictures. He's like, man, these 70-year-olds can rock. And I thought, yeah, there was probably a lot of old people in that crowd. And then he sent me the pictures, and I was like, oh, wait, he's talking about Scorpions. Yeah, they can, huh?
The Scorpions! I know. I know. Yeah, like Mick Jagger's like freaking, like what, 82 or something? Like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I remember when my grandparents were in their 70s and like crotchety old people. I mean, I'm not making fun of them. I respect them. They won World War II. We have a country because of them.
That's right.
But at the same time, it's like time was not good on that era. Somehow, some way, maybe it's just we don't eat as much butter. I don't know. I love butter, but you know what I'm saying? Apparently, Mick Jagger did not get the "you've got to croak and die" memo, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Like, so the Scorpions and Motley Crue. I saw Motley Crue with you. Well, anyway, you tell the story. This is your rock stories, not mine. But the Motley Crue, talk a little bit about some of those other concerts, man.
Yeah, well, growing up, Motley Crue was my favorite band, so there was probably, I think it may have been the second concert. The first concert I ever saw in my life was Rat. And that was 1986 or 87, and then shortly thereafter was Motley Crue, and that started the whole love affair with at least their shows. And of course, you could always look forward to Tommy Lee's antics on the drum kit. What's he gonna do in this show? How's he gonna outdo what he did in the last show? And oh, excuse me. So anytime I had an opportunity to see them, obviously I was jumping at it, and it didn't matter as long as they were somewhere within a night's drive, then it was going to happen. And so, long story short, you're gonna have to refresh the memory on which one we saw together.
Oh, no problem. No.
It's not that I don't remember you. It's just that they all run together.
So we went and saw Motley Crue, and I don't remember who they were playing with either. But I remember they had a girl on the drums at the time filling in for Tommy's spot. And I just remember being so impressed. That chick could rock.
Yeah. Yes. I vaguely remember that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I would not have remembered that if you didn't mention that. Like, that's weird. And that's a pretty standout moment. Man,
that's pretty awesome. And
must have been pretty partying that night.
Oh, a lot. And then let's see. We all went down and saw Metallica at the Save Mart Center, and I gotta tell you, that concert was amazing. Wow. Yeah. I mean,
they're always fun to see.
Like the show they put on, they're and this is at the time when Napster is getting popular and everybody's like, screw Metallica. They don't want to give us their music for free and all that. But you get what you pay for. Is that the axiom?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, it was those concerts are always fun, man. Seeing Metallica from the early 90s, late 80s, all the way through now, how much they also, well, let me put it back up a little bit. There are some shows, there are some bands that are made to be seen live, and they're one of them. Bam, Kiss, you can run down some of these bands that just do phenomenal live performances, and Metallica's always been that way. And I, again, always jumped at an opportunity to see them. Regardless, I didn't care too much for any of the stuff after the Black Album, which was still, that was cool.
I remember when Saint Anger came out, you were like, all it is yeah, like, and I remember that. And funny thing, I made up a comedy bit, and I never thought it was going to be funny. I hadn't tried it out yet. But in my head, it made me laugh. That doesn't mean anything, right? And Rock Stories with the Brumster, past episode, Rock Stories with the Brumster YouTube channel. Like and subscribe, folks. And if you'd like to get your rock stories on our program, just email me, the Brumster, at rockstorieswiththebrumster@gmail.com. Don Gibbons, he plays in a Kiss cover band called Sloppy Kiss, and does some gigs down there at the Whiskey A Go-Go in Hollywood. He was on a Rock Stories with the Brumster episode a couple of shows ago. And again, folks, if you want to check it out on demand, it's a great episode. But anyway, why I bring that up is I tried this bit out on him. In my head, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if James Hetfield, first of all, I said, I think he's amazing that he was able to channel his disability into being just so amazing on stage and in his art. And Don's like, what, he's got a disability? I said, yeah, he's got Tourette's. And, most people, when they have Tourette's, they can't control it, but he's channeled into, yeah. And I'm so proud of him to be able to do that. And just imagine him going to McDonald's. Yeah, I'd like a Big Mac and a small fry. Yeah. And could I please also get a shake with that? Yeah. And where's the salt? See, yeah. So it made you laugh too. Yay. So anyway, I said it on the show, and I was joking. I thought Don, I love Don. He's great. And he played along great after that. I thought that he wasn't, I was just joking, and Don thought I wasn't joking. He thought I was serious. So at the end of the,
really?
Yeah. So at the end of the deal, we did the yeah thing and laughed about it. And at the end of the broadcast, and he goes, wow, I didn't even know he had Tourette's. And I'm like, no, he doesn't. I'm just kidding. And he goes, you suck, dude. Oh, it's a great episode, folks. Go check it out. Don Gibbons, Sloppy Kiss episode of Rock Stories with the Brumster. But anyway, yeah. That whole Saint Anger album was a departure from what Metallica's known for. Is that what you're getting at?
Anything pretty much after the Black Album at that time was. I just remember waiting for the new Metallica song to drop off of Load, and then Until It Sleeps played. I waited. I was in the car with some buddies, and we heard the radio station was like, yeah, we're going to premiere the new Metallica song. We rushed, man. We're going to another friend's house. We rushed there. We ran in the house. We turned the stereo on, and then it starts playing, and then, we're all kind of looking at each other like, didn't they say this was Metallica? I thought Metallica was supposed to be the new Metallica song. It must be after this one. And then, then you can kind of pick it up when James starts singing it. And so, yeah, there was a lot of disappointment, but even so, I never passed up an opportunity to go see a live Metallica show, and they were always worth it.
Right. We saw Metallica after that, and they did not disappoint us live. Like you said, they're live specialists.
Yeah. There are definitely some bands that you need to see live, and they're one of them. And again, it was their stages were always something new each show, or what are they going to do this time? And I remember the Snake Pit in
what?
When they were touring the Black Album. Yeah,
the Snake Pit? Are you though?
They had that
crazy, really?
That's what they called it, the Snake Pit. It was in the middle of the stage. The stage was kind of like diamond shaped, and in the very middle they had fans sitting inside of the middle of the stage, and they call that the Snake Pit there.
Oh my God! Imagine getting those tickets so cool. Right in the middle of the stage, getting hit with their sweat,
right.
Whoa!
Yeah, so I always thought that was a pretty cool idea, and always would just stare at that point and go, man, that would be so awesome to be in there. How do I get in there? Never made it. I was only a kid at that time.
Man,
but damn, I go now.
Rock and roll memories.
Yes, sir.
You
foggy memories
are one of the biggest Pantera Dimebag fans that I've ever known in my life. Gotta go there, bro. Gotta go there.
Yes,
Talk a little
sir.
bit about your passion for Pantera, man.
Well, they're another band that was amazing live. The energy that you'd see at a Pantera show was phenomenal. And, those shows were general admission shows, so I'd always buy tickets to the floor on the floor, and I think I've seen them again 10 plus times. And the objective was always to get through the pit and make it to the front. And then I made it up there several times. And yeah, I remember, well, probably my favorite show of all time, it was Pantera, White Zombie, and KORN. And it was KORN. I was in the Army at the time, and I was stationed down in Arizona. None of us knew who KORN was. And I had another buddy there that, him and I would go to shows all the time whenever we had an opportunity. So we got the tickets to the show. We were there to see White Zombie and Pantera, obviously. Well, KORN comes out, and oh my gosh, we were blown away. Never heard him, didn't know anything about him. And the next day, we were at the record store when they had record stores. I think it was in Sam Goody or something. And we bought that CD and been KORN fans since. But that show was phenomenal. White Zombie killed it. Made it up to the front for that one. Got spit on. Rob Zombie spit water out on the crowd right on top of me. That was great. I never washed that hand again, or that. I don't even know where I got it, on the top of my head. It's bald. got the Rob Zombie water there and never cleaned it again. So that was cool. And then the Pantera came out, and
I could imagine if Paul
McCartney.
I could imagine if Paul McCartney spit on my Aunt Sue's head. Seriously, she got called up on stage. She's the coolest aunt in the world. She got called up on stage, and yeah, there's 2 episodes with Aunt Sue. She's a mega super fan, and she's on Rock Stories with the Brumster, 2 episodes at Rock Stories with the Brumster YouTube channel, folks. Go back and check it out on demand. She got called up on stage with Sir Paul, and she's got her sign up. I want to come up, and it's the fans on the run. They pay like a premium, and they go to every single show in the world and drain their entire savings to do it. They love Paul that much. And she got up on stage, and Paul signed his name autograph on her arm. And of course she went and got that tattooed. So now she's got Paul's signature tattooed on her arm forever. And, so yeah, I just imagine if Paul McCartney spit his drink on her head. Oh, I love you, Aunt Sue. I love you. So
awesome.
So wow, KORN, Bakersfield. And speaking of sobriety, lead singer of KORN became a Christian, totally sober, and I think he's back out on tour with KORN now. For last I heard, really? But yeah, from Bakersfield originally. Like, what's up with the Central Valley, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yep. Yeah, they killed it that night, man. We were so impressed with them. Obviously, the entire show was awesome. I got a dime-bag pick at that one, so it was a great memory. And but yeah, that next day we jumped in the car and went over to, like I said, Sam Goody or Tower Records or something, and bought that KORN CD, and then here we are, 20-something years later. Still going. You
ever see Tom Petty?
Never seen Tom Petty.
Oh man, I was lucky enough to see him twice. Right there. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, that I would have loved to seen that one.
Mm-hmm. Legendary, 100%. Yeah,
for sure.
Sammy Hagar came to Fresno. I did not get a chance to see Sammy in Fresno. I saw him later when he opened for Aerosmith, which it's not like Kiss. There's not fire and flames. He's just partying, having a good time, drinking margaritas and playing his hits. And, Kiss didn't, ruin the show for Aerosmith like they did at the Save Mart Center. There was no fire and flames. So, it made a big difference. I love Aerosmith, and that show rocked at the Oracle Arena where the Warriors play. But Sammy, Red Rocker, amazing. Cabo Wabo briefly opened, just very briefly, in Fresno, a location. And I don't remember, did you ever have a chance to see Sammy?
I never had a chance to see Sammy. It's funny because we're going to Cabo in a few weeks. And I was thinking, because we're staying at the Hard Rock Resort. And I was thinking maybe we can go try to find the Cabo Wabo Cantina and make a journey over there and see if, because I know his birthday's this month. So usually having some sort of bash down there. I don't know when it is, but I'm sure it's not, when we're going to be there. But maybe we could catch a glimpse of him, or maybe do a show or something down there. So we're going to explore that option while we're there. And it'd be cool to just happen across something and get a chance to go to the Cabo Wabo Cantina and check him out.
Well, check this out. My wife and I, we went to Cabo San Lucas for our honeymoon, and our anniversary's coming up on October 19th. And so right afterwards, we went down to LAX and flew to Mexico and went there and had a great time. And we went partying. We went to Giggling Marlin, Squid Row. We hit it all up. Laura, she's just awesome. Just had a great time. She's party leader. The only thing that sucked that I hated was the timeshare presentations. Do not get caught up in one of those. No matter how many pina coladas they give you, no matter how much they show you how it makes sense, it's just going to waste your whole day. You're only in Cabo for so long. Don't buy into their lies. And this isn't just for you. It's for the entire audience. It is a big, giant trap. It's good times, but you be careful when you're down there. So we end up going to Cabo after partying all night, and we get in Cabo Wabo, and of course I'm telling Laura, like, oh man, Sammy, I want to see Sammy, and of course you're getting a drink and everything. Is Sammy here or gonna be coming or something? Again, it's around his birthday, just like what you're talking about, right after we got married on the 19th. And so being that it was around his birthday, we assumed he actually might be there. All of the waiters and waitresses, I figured out later, they tell everyone that Sammy's on his way.
Oh yeah, he is. He's always on his way.
he's always on his way. No, he's not. He's in that damn red car on AXS driving around talking to rockers. You lying sack of crap. I didn't know that then.
They ain't no dummies either.
It was good times. It was good times. I did not have a margarita, but I did go into the restroom, and they have someone in there like a towel person. I was going to say towel boy, but it's not a boy. It's towel man.
Thank God.
Oh, no, it's not a boy. Be respectful. And I go to use the pooper. I mean, I didn't have to, but I don't really want to like pee into a trough like the old days at the drive-in theater or jail. No. And so I go in there to have a little privacy, and I go to grab the latch to open the door, and it wouldn't open. And I finally get it open, and I slice my hand, and I'm bleeding all over the place. I go to the, excuse me, not towel boy, towel person. And towel person helps me to go ahead and get all the blood off and everything, and has a Band-Aid right there. And of course, he does not want gum like Rob Schneider from Home Alone. No, he wants money. So here's a peso for you, sir. Yeah, that'll buy me a piece of charcoal for the barbecue. Thanks.
There you go. Yeah, right.
Oh, we did that when we were down there. We changed over all our dollars for pesos, thinking that it would be better and we'd go further. And everyone was just pissed off at us the whole time.
Were they really?
They don't want a peso.
They all trade in dollars down there, huh?
we got like a bunch of pina coladas at the resort that we were at. And I'm like, you know what? This person's been working for us, getting us drunk for 3 or 4 hours. I'm going to give him a 20. What the hell? And the manager came in and said, don't put that up. That's like what they make in a whole week. I'm like, no. Now I feel really bad,
oh shit, really?
But yeah, I'm not joking. They wouldn't let me tip the person.
Oh, damn.
Besides that, they probably knew that the person might have family members that would like kidnap us or something. If they...
Yeah, you'd be dead, man.
So after that, we changed everything to pesos, and everybody left us the hell alone. Yep.
20 pesos. This doesn't quite have the same effect, huh?
Slinging them around like I'm rich. Just tossing it at the pool bar. Oh, another one, mon frere, like.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Well,
third world countries.
Yeah, we're hoping to have some experience like that. We'll see
it's fun.
We'll see what it's like.
It's fun. Well, we did have coconut shrimp, and we did have a couple of drinks, and that was fun. So the Hard Rock Resort, you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, man. So it's through my job. I build and sell swimming pools, and the company I work for, Premier Pools, the number one pool builder in the valley and in the country. Because I hit a certain mark on sales, then we qualified, and it was three of the four of us that do design and sales. We qualified for a week stay at the Hard Rock Resort. All we had to do was pay for our way down. Everything else is paid for, fully inclusive. 6 or 10 bars and 6 or 10 restaurants, something like that. So we're looking forward to it, man. We're gonna have a great time.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. And when you're there, after we've gone through all these rock and roll memories and rock stories here, rock stories with the Brumster, my best friend, Mark Almeida, on the show today. Man, what great memories we had together. Radio memories as well. I hope you have a great time rocking with your family, well-deserved, at the Hard Rock Cafe and Resort over at Cafe. Yeah. That doesn't even sound right.
We got our own.
It's not a damn cafe. Where's the cafe in this place? This isn't Starbucks. I want a latte, damn it. You need to go to Cabo Wabo while you're there. And even if it's just a replica of Sammy, a wax version of him that's standing there smiling or something, take a picture and send it to us, and the Brumster will make sure we put it on the Brumster Facebook page, all your adventures down there. Mark, thank you so much. You are my best friend, brother. I appreciate you and your family. And also, of course, all these great memories that we had a blast sharing with our audience here today, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, my brother, it was my pleasure. Thanks for having me on. And yeah, it's always fun. It's always fun trying to remember things that you can't really remember until somebody happens to jog that memory slightly. You've jogged a few memories. Unfortunately, there's probably quite a few back there that still need to be jogged, but but those are good times.
No, jogging's out of the question. It's a sprint.
Are you kidding me? With these knees, I'm not jogging anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not jogging anywhere. It's called the conveyor belt, man. Like, yeah. At the airport where you hop on the conveyor belt at some airports.
Yeah, you put me on that thing.
Oh, and you get the people in front of you that just stand there and rest. I'm like, what's the point? Get out of my way. I want to travel 20 miles an hour.
I want to feel like I'm sprinting right now. Move, please.
like OJ in the Hertz commercial, All right, brother. Thanks for joining us, man. And hang on the line for our engineers. Me, myself, and I'll be right with you.
All right.
Rock Stories with the Brumster and BFOB, friend of the Brumster, Mr. Mark Almeida. And, of course, great memories from Kiss, Ted Nugent, Pantera, White Zombie, KORN, Night Ranger, Metallica, and more. Motley Crue, you name it. And we had a great show today. Of course, some great rock and roll radio memories and laughs as well. You can give us your rock and roll memories and share it on the show if you'd like. Just email me to schedule a call and we can make it happen. rockstorieswiththebrumster@gmail.com. Email me, rockstorieswiththebrumster@gmail.com, or comment here on the channel. It's Rock Stories with the Brumster YouTube channel. Make sure you like this this video, subscribe to our channel. Share it as well. We'd love it if it'd go viral. Really appreciate your support. And make sure you hit that reminder bell in the corner so that you can be a part of the ongoing conversation that we're having here about great rock stories from the fans' perspective. Real rock stories from the fans' perspective, baby. Rock stories with the Brumster. Until next time, rock on.